Get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Valerie, the founder of Parker and Talia, and I am here today talking to Dr. Adams. Hi, Dr. Adams. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Valerie?
Good. So Dr. Adams is joining us from a company called Mind's Eye, and we will get more into what that is later, but you do work with a lot of neurodiverse individuals with brain injuries. So I'm just curious, we would like to know a little bit about yourself and what kind of drew you to working with this group of people.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. When I first graduated from optometry school, I worked in a standard practice and we saw everyone of it didn't matter whether you were neurodiverse or not.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, I started to realize that glasses and contact lenses were a great way to help a person see, but they didn't address a lot of other concerns, such as processing, for example, academic struggles, postural changes. So there were a lot of things that were not resolved, and a person would come in wanting to have those issues resolved. And so that led from phase one of my career to phase two. And in phase two, we had a practice where we did address those things. And phase three started, it was a coincidental meeting where I met Dr. Zelinsky. And I was like, can I come see you work? And she goes, of course you can. So I came out to visit the office, and stage two has so much more. I mean, stage three has so much more. And by that, I mean, she was doing some amazing things. And so that's how stage two ended and stage three began. And that's where I'm at now with the Mind Eye Institute.
Wonderful. So that goes right into our next question. Can you just tell us a little briefly about what Mind's Eye does?
Mm-hmm. So the Mind Eye, there's no S.
Oh, sorry, Mind Eye.
That's okay. So at the Mind Eye Institute, some of the things that we do that are different is we take into account how a person perceives their environment. And everybody interacts and perceives the environment through their own lens, quote unquote. And so we actually investigate how they perceive sound and how they perceive the environment. And we try and meld the two so that there's less internal stress. So we, it's an attempt to get the sensory systems working in tandem congruently.
That's amazing. So how exactly does that happen through optometry? Is it because the eye is like connected to kind of every different pathway in the brain?
You did a very good job of summarizing. The answer is yes. So embryologically, the eyes sprout from the brain. They move forward.
Mm-hmm.
The retina is really brain tissue. So we have this connection between these two organs, the eyes and the brain. Why not use that connection? So we're just going through the eyes. And the back of the eye, the retina, is just brain tissue. So we're going through the eyes to get to the brain and make changes there.
That's amazing. It's
amazing whenever you see it in like happen in person, and you're like so flabbergasted.
I bet. So does this work on children and adults?
It works on children. It works on adults. The answer is yes.
Okay, that's
So
great.
we have patients who are infants all the way up to the geriatric realm.
That's amazing. So if someone wears glasses already, can your technology be combined with their prescription lenses?
Oh, that's a good question, because a lot of people have that concern. And whenever you normally get a pair of glasses, the goal is to sharpen the eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
So we sharpen and give you the really good central eyesight. But what we do differently here is we use the glasses as a way to develop your peripheral eyesight. That's what grounds us. And eventually will make the straight ahead more efficient and clearer too. But we have to first work on the periphery. So do we combine them? It's not really like that, no.
Okay.
Because we're trying to get the peripheral signals of each eye working in tandem with each other and with the brain.
Okay. I think
so the periphery is the key.
Okay.
Not the straight ahead central like we're used to.
Got it. Okay. Very interesting. So let's go on to the testing portion of how you guys kind of get to where you can help people. So my son, he's 8, he wears glasses. Our first visit to the eye doctor was horrendous.
Oh,
Starting when they put the little puff of air in his eye, and the worst part was just when they had to give him eye drops to like dilate his pupils. I mean, it was one of the worst meltdowns I've ever seen. Is there, being that you deal with a lot of neurodiverse individuals, is there some specialized testing or ways that you can work around making this a little easier for people
mhm.
that might have a lot of trouble with getting their eyes tested?
The answer is yes. And first of all, I just want to preface by saying most of the time, we're not the first stop.
Got it.
So a lot of those things have been done
Okay.
and done and done and done. Most of our patients come to us looking for better function.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you interact with your environment? How do you understand what's going on around you? How do we change your posture? How do we make you do what you want to do on a higher level?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the astrophysicist looking to perform higher, or that could be the special needs infant who we want to be able to say he can take his first step soon. So our exams are more geared towards function.
Okay.
And we do address pathology and are your eyes healthy? And do you
Mm-hmm.
have this or that, glaucoma? We do
Yeah.
that as well, but it's not a whole lot of that at
That
this
makes a
point.
lot more sense to me now. I guess I was thinking of it as traditional optometry, but it makes sense that you'll be testing all the things that you're really trying to help. Okay. And I did read on the website that this testing is hours long. Do you break it up? How do you, I know that there's not a lot of kids in particular that can sit for a very long time.
Correct. So let's take it from a children's point of view,
Okay.
because we are talking about Parker and Tiger. So
Mhm.
take it from the neurosensory. So
Okay.
from that point of view, if your child comes here and they're not laughing whenever they leave, I would be surprised.
Okay. That's
So
great.
there's lots of different things going on. You're walking, you're jumping, you're hitting, you're touching. It's very dynamic.
Okay. That's
So
excellent.
it's not a 3 hour sit down, cover your eye, do this, take a test. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some test taking, but it's mixed up with other stuff.
Okay.
There's some computer screen stuff where you're, shooting aliens, but then you're doing something more traditional.
Yeah.
So it's all very integrative and very dynamic and very engaging.
Okay. That's amazing.
Okay.
That makes much more sense.
So now let's say that we do have someone else who needs their testing split into days. So maybe we can divide the visit so that not everything's done at
Mhm.
one sitting.
Mhm.
And I mean, that may be the preference, but we have to look at reality too. So sometimes we'll divide the exam up over a course of time, depending on how far you've come and how convenient it is for you to stay or travel.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
great. And I'm knowing that every person's different and the results vary. Is there an approximate amount of time before you start seeing results after wearing your glasses?
Mhm. I would say, how long would it take you to start seeing results? First of all, life is a bell curve, right? So we have this bell curve,
Mhm.
and I've had a person call me, not even a person, I have patients call me as they're leaving the office and driving home, going, "Oh my gosh, I've already noticed change." And sometimes you're getting expletives, or you can't even repeat the words that they're saying in public because they're so amazed that they're saying, "Oh my gosh, you can't believe what happened. I can't believe how much change I'm getting right away." And then you may have someone else who may take some time, say, I would say on average 6 to 12 weeks. That's that bell curve,
Yeah.
6 to 12 average. And then
Okay.
you may have someone who doesn't see results right away. And I think of one person in particular who I saw for almost 18 months. And every time I walk into the room, there would be this dour face, right? When am I going to change?
Yeah.
And after like the 18th month, I walk into the room and there's this huge smile on this person's face
Wow.
and all these changes. So life is a bell curve. Are you going to be the person who change immediately, somewhere in the middle, or will it be an extended wait? I don't know. I would say that compliance plays a key.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you leave here, you're given specific instructions on how to adapt to the optical measures that we give you, the optical tools we give you.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to the tools, you're also given some activities oftentimes. Are you
Mm-hmm.
doing those?
Yeah.
In some cases, it takes a village. And what I mean by villages, we're working with other professionals. Have you followed up with those other professionals yet? So compliance takes a village. Sometimes it just takes time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in your history, has there been any group of individuals or sign that this type of technology is not going to work for someone?
Mm. We have a really, really good intake process.
Okay.
So there's so much history taken and buffered before that typically we get patients who we know we can help. And if we don't have that kind of engagement, then we have to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes maybe there's some emotional issues that need to be dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why what we're wanting to happen hasn't happened. Other times, maybe there's some pathology we can't overcome.
Okay.
So if you have spinal bifida, for example, and you can't use your legs, you can't expect that that's going to change. And so it depends. So it depends on what your goals are. And we try and make sure that before we see you, that you are someone we can help.
Okay.
So if there's anyone out there who's considering the Mind Eye Institute, I would say give us a call. And once you go through the intake process, we'll know if we're a match.
Okay. That's great.
And that's why our success rate is so high.
Yeah, that makes sense. And because children's brains are young and growing and changing, do they have a little bit of a higher success rate or easier to change to this technology than adults?
Okay, that's a good question. I would say, are children's brain more pliable, more flexible, easier to change? Oftentimes the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the strong point for an adult would be that a lot of adults are super motivated. So either the adult has had a trauma and they remember their past life and they want it back,
Mm-hmm.
or they feel like they're stagnant and they want to perform higher in a more efficient way or in a better manner. So you can't discount motivation because that can trump youth.
So true. Makes me feel better as I get older too. So just to let everyone know also, so your institution is based in Chicago. So for anyone that is interested, you would have to travel to Chicago to do the testing and evaluation. That's after the intake though. Like you figure out if it works for you, and then when you really decide to do it, then you travel to Chicago and you begin the process. And I know I read on the website that you don't accept insurances, but do you know if there's a payment plan to help people out? Is there a way that you have discounts for low income families so this kind of technology can be accessible to more people?
The answer is we do have some systems like that in place.
Okay.
So we do have a financial aid system set up where we give a substantial discount.
Mm-hmm.
So for the families who have those concerns, just give us a call and then you'll be directed to the financial aid department.
Okay, wonderful.
We also accept care credit. And if a person should need financial aid, we will take care of the interest so that you're only doing principal.
That's great.
And thirdly, we do give, a substantial discount to veterans.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm sure
So
there's a big need there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess final thoughts, anything that you think people should really hear about Mind Eye?
Mm-hmm. I would say sometimes a person may be on the fence about coming here because there is the travel and oftentimes multiple children involved, and it's a commitment. And what I would say to a family who's considering, do we take a chance? As a parent, my response would be, what would you give for your child to have a better life?
That's powerful.
You can't really put a value on that.
It's true.
So the investment today can have an incredible influence on their future.
You know what? I just
So,
thought of,
so
sorry.
please check out our website. Please check out our website because all those testimonials are so true. And you may find someone with a similar scenario as what you're going through, and it may ring true. So that is my answer to that question. If you're on the fence, consider the Mind Eye Institute. And what was your question?
Sorry, I just thought of one last question. These glasses, are people able to stop wearing them once they see results, or is this sort of a lifelong wearing of these glasses?
So I tell all of our patients that the way we prescribe, these are not forever glasses.
Okay.
They're for now glasses. With the one stipulation being, if you're nearsighted to a certain degree, you're going to need glasses. Or farsighted. I mean, there's some people who just need glasses.
Yeah.
But oftentimes it's not to the same degree as when they first started. But for the majority of our patients, these are for now glasses, not forever glasses.
Thank you so much for sharing your time. And I just think that what Mind Eye is doing is incredible. And it's amazing way to potentially change young and grown people's lives. And thank you for your service and all that you're doing to help this community of people.
Thank you for helping us get the word out.
Of course. All right, Dr. Adams, thank you so much. And I will flash below the website so anyone that's interested can visit. And please reach out to the website through the website directly with any questions or intakes at all. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Adams.